Ten,
Nine,
Take studio.
7, 6,
Stomach
5,
camera 1, mics 1 and 2.
3, 2, 1.
Take studio.
Hello and welcome to another episode of MCTV News. I'm your host, Matthias Kidd.
And I'm Austin Bignell. On today's show, Will Campeau shows us Artisan Emporium. Cory brings us a piece about the Morinville Food Bank Christmas event. Dylan Weiss shows us the return of MCTV Live, and Boissonneault shows us the Alpacas farm. But here's our top story.
MCHS Student Council set up a food bank donation called the 12 Days of Giving. Each day an item is kindly requested to be donated. After 2 weeks, the school will do a draw from all the donors, and the winner receives a $50 Walmart gift card. Reporter Boissonneault took the reins to bring us this report.
Christmas time can be very stressful financially for some. That's why helping out our community by donating things such as food to the local food bank helps out a lot.
CHS's 12 Days of Giving started last year. I think it was the first year we ran it. We've always done food banks, but we decided this year and also last year to put a Christmas spin on it.
People that were involved was student council, specifically our vice presidents like Jillian.
Just as any student council activity, all students on the council have a say in it. The food bank reached out to us saying that they were low on hall and that their drive didn't go as great as they wanted it to be.
This year, the council was made up of all new members, so student engagement has been a work in progress.
Getting students involved is definitely one of the harder tasks being on student council. Just with the year we've had, motivation is way low. But I think specifically for this one, we have a lot of charitable people in our school. There is reoccurring faces who sign up to do things, who help their communities. We have our daily announcements talking about what we're doing. We have posters. We have our social media accounts, which you should follow.
The announcements and from my friend in student council.
We try to keep everybody up to date on what's happening. And specifically with the food bank, we decided to station ourselves right at center court with a big sign with, my welcoming face.
We've had 12 days. Each of the 12 days there was a specific food item that we asked to bring in. If you brought in other stuff, we took it too, of course. We're not going to turn food bank stuff down. But you bring in the food items, and there was a cart in center court each morning, and we collected and we put your name in a draw for a $50 Walmart gift card. So we asked people to donate things like canned fish, canned fruit, granola bars, soup, peanut butter, canned vegetables, mostly just non-perishable food items that won't go bad over a short amount of time.
There are many ways to help our community, so is giving one of the more important ones?
Oh, of course. Giving to those who have less is a huge part of our MCHS community. We give back because we know we can. We know that it's something we should do, and we enjoy it. It's something that I know has been tough these past few. It's been 2 years, I believe, that everyone's been in a slump, and it's hard to give back when you're struggling to give yourself stuff.
I do think it's important because not everybody has the opportunities that we do to be able to afford everything they need, so being able to help them out is important.
You have the ability to bring in stuff for other people. You're being generous with what you have, and it's the best part of my day, seeing people come in and bring food.
Absolutely. Christmas, lots of people get spoiled more than throughout the year, and I think it's important to share with everyone. Just because people aren't fortunate doesn't mean they don't deserve to have a good Christmas.
If possible, please donate, as it would be greatly appreciated by the student council and community. For MCTV News, Boissonneault reporting.
Welcome back. As Christmas is right around the corner, we are looking for some enjoyable weather during the break. Let's see what MCTV meteorologist Cory has in store for us.
Thanks, Matthias. Let's look at the national forecast. In Whitehorse, it's partly cloudy with a -26. In Yellowknife, it's snowing with a -28. In Vancouver, it's raining with a +5. In Regina, it's partly cloudy with a -18. In Winnipeg, it's snowing with a -12. In Toronto, it's raining with a 16. In Iqaluit, it's cloudy with a -19. In Montreal, it's cloudy with a 13. In Halifax, it's snowing and raining with a 4. And in St. John's, it's partly cloudy with a -7. Let's take a look at the provincial forecast. In High Level, it's snowing with a -27. In Fort McMurray, it's snowing with a -25. In Grand Prairie, it's snowing with a -23. In Edmonton, it's snowing with a -18. In Jasper, it's snowing with a -14. In Red Deer, it's snowing with a -19. In Banff, it's snowing with a -13. Calgary, it's snowing with a -15. In Medicine Hat, it's snowing with a -12. Let's take a look at the current conditions. Right now it is snowing with a negative 20 degrees Celsius. The wind is going 11 kilometers per hour northeast. The relative humidity is at 77% with a sunrise this morning at 8:46 a.m. and a sunset tonight at 4:13 p.m. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. On Friday, it's supposed to be sunny with a high of negative 24 and a low of negative 27. On Saturday, it's going to be pretty cloudy with a high of negative 17 and a low of negative 18. On Sunday, it's going to be snowing with a high of negative 16 and a low of negative 24. On Monday, it's supposed to be cloudy with a high of negative 20 and a low of negative 24. On Tuesday, it's going to be cloudy with a negative 16 and a low of negative 18. On Wednesday, it's supposed to be snowing, and on Thursday, it's going to be snowing with a high of negative 17 and a low of negative 23. Back to you guys.
Welcome back. MCTV reporter Will Campeau went to the Artisan Emporium to discuss with best-selling business owners and on their success and their love to give back to the community. They share their amazing story during the season of giving. Let's have a look.
The Artisan Emporium is a local store in Edmonton that sells products from small businesses across Alberta. I asked the owner of their top-selling business about how it started.
We've been in business for 12 years. Started off with my friend Andy making the jerky. I fell in love with the jerky and said, hey, let's get together and make a business out of it.
I asked the co-owner, Mike Street, about what else they sell at the Artisan Emporium.
We do our freeze-dried products. We have preservatives. We have bath bombs. We have Jamaican hot sauces. We're getting soup time coming in. We have crafts. We have craft night to try and give back to the community every night. Once a week, we try and do a craft night. We have crafts anywhere from age 6 to 80.
I interviewed a customer about how he discovered Andy's beef jerky and if he would recommend it.
I've been a customer with Andy's beef jerky for the past 5 years, and I met Mike and Heidi through my spouse. I would highly recommend it to anybody, even if they have to go make a short drive to get there. I would do that because they will not regret the taste and the flavor you get from Andy's beef jerky.
I asked the co-owner of the Artisan Emporium how he gives back to the local community.
We try and give back to the community, whatever community we go to. We try and give back. If we do farmers markets, we try and do fundraisers. Our fundraisers are really well for teams that want to try and pick up as much money for as little time as possible. Usually you run it for 3 weeks. 7 to 10 business days, you get your product back, all separated per child. In the community, we try and give back. We do different discounts. We have a superhero discount for military, police, firefighters. They get 10% discount all year round.
I asked the owner of Andy's Beef Jerky about the problems she has faced.
Sometimes it's a supply, especially now during the pandemic. When you're a small business, you are at the bottom of the supply chain, so they'll deliver to the larger companies first, and then you get your supplies last.
You can get products from the Artisan Emporium in store or online at artisanemporium.ca. For MCTV News, Will Campeau reporting.
Here are your school announcements for Thursday, December the 16th. With the holiday season approaching, it can be financially difficult for families. If you think your family could benefit from a support of a Christmas hamper, please see Miss Connell or Miss Christensen to get application for your family. 12 Days of Giving started 2 Thursdays ago, hosted by Student Council. For a chance to win a $50 Walmart gift card, please bring in your food bank donations and drop it off with the Student Council members in Center Court before Block 1. If you're not here before classes start, you can drop donations off in the office to receive your entry form. Are you trying to decide which career path you would like to choose? If so, check out the following virtual showcases to get more information. Young Women in Trades as well as Agriculture and Cooking on January 12th, Agriculture Plant Systems on January 18th, and Forestry on February 16th. Please see the posters in the display case near Student Services or see Mr. Lessard for more information. For these and all other school information, keep connected by listening to the daily announcements, logging on to the school's website at www.mchs.gsacred.ab.ca, or by following the school on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. As well, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel by searching MCTV Morinville.
With Christmas coming around in about a week, many people in need are supporting to bring food to the table. One place in particular that helps people during the difficult times is the Morinville Food Bank. Reporter Natalie Cory asked local volunteers on their Christmas event.
The Morinville Food Bank is a nonprofit organization that helps feed people who live in and around the Morinville area. People volunteer during the holidays to ensure that everyone has food on the table. Let's see what motivates them.
Well, it started with my mom and dad. They've been volunteer of the year and been doing this for a long time, so it just seems natural that the rest of the family would do it. I just love knowing that people don't have to be hungry, that there's a place that they can go to and just have something to eat.
I wanted to give back. I wanted to get involved with some social activities, social projects, and get involved with the town. And I thought food bank was a great project to get involved in.
In addition to donations during the food bank drive, the food bank also relies on contributions from families and community groups, as well as cash from businesses.
We are very fortunate because we have gardeners who have an abundance of potatoes, different squashes. That exposure to different stuff is kind of nice. So yeah, it's great when we get that fresh produce in.
A lot of canned goods and pastas, I think, and some frozen items, I believe.
Lots of families just drop stuff off. They call if they decide to do it as a family project. Different businesses in the community have food drop-off boxes.
We always accept money donations, actually. That's where you can actually start buying the things that you see that on the shelves that you've run out of. You can take that money and buy other products for the food bank boxes.
For those looking to get help from the food bank, they have a process for applying for hampers.
People apply for the need here, and they are set up an appointment and they come on in. We take down how many people in the family, adults, children, and the hampers are made up, and then they have a set appointment time to be able to come and pick up their hamper.
Volunteering not only benefits the community and those in need, but can also be personally rewarding.
Just having that connection with some people and meeting new faces, and for tonight's event, just seeing some citizens of Morinville come by and drop off their donations. It's really nice to see.
Meeting up with the people. Yeah, people, volunteers, as well as people that are coming in that need help, and they all have a different story, and it's just good to meet people in our community. Doing fill-a-bus when we had the buses parked at Sobeys or No Frills, and being able to stand out there as people are coming in and out of the grocery store and talking to them. It's a wonderful experience. It's a wonderful feeling to know that you're making a difference.
The Morinville community is very grateful for all of the hard-working volunteers. For MCTV News, Natalie Cory reporting.
Welcome back. Here with all the latest scores, including the NHL, NBA, and the NFL, is our very own sports analyst, Sophia Chvojka.
Thanks, Austin. In the NHL, Chicago beat Washington 5-4. The Rangers took Arizona 3-2 in a close game, and the Kraken sunk down Anaheim, drowning them 4-1. Turning to an eventful night in the NBA, the Hawks beat the Magic 111-99. Houston had a problem, Cleveland sending them to space with a score of 124-89. The Miami Heat crisped the 76ers lightly with a winning score of 101-96. The Lakers had a close victory against the Mavericks 107-104. The Bucks dragged the Pacers behind with a score of 114-99, and the Pelicans swooped in and took the Thunder in a close 113-110 game. Here's the upcoming games for Week 15 in the NFL. Tonight, the Chiefs take on the Chargers. On Sunday, the Raiders take on the Browns, and the Patriots look to extend their winning streak to 8 against the Colts. Sunday sees the Titans battle the Steelers, the Seahawks and the Rams duel to see who extends the two-game win streak, and Brady and the Bucks take on the Saints to close off Week 15. And finally, to close off the 2021 CFL season, the Blue Bombers defeated the Tiger Cats to win 2 consecutive Grey Cups. Despite home field advantage, the Tiger Cats fell short to the Blue Bombers in overtime. Winnipeg took the game 33-25. Over the last couple of seasons, our program has done many news reports on the effects that COVID-19 has had on local stakeholders. We here at MCTV News have not been an exception to the rule. Coming up next, reporter Dylan Weiss takes a look at the return to live recording of our broadcasts, which were interrupted when COVID protocols first took hold in the spring of 2020.
Up until recently, live shows have mysteriously vanished from MCTV News. I asked class instructor Greg Bautestein why that happened.
We stopped doing the live shows when COVID hit in early 2020. We were having to stop doing some of the things that we would normally do on the show, like live in-studio interviews. And we weren't quite at the stage where we could do remote interviews. And that on top of the fact that our playback computer went down, those two things combined kind of led to the decision to at least for the foreseeable year or two until COVID was done that we would do a segmented approach to doing the show rather than recording the whole show as one continuous take.
Most would say that the holiday season brings energy in the air. I was curious if live shows had a similar energy or charge.
There's definitely a bigger energy when you're doing a continuous take or a live show. I think students, we realize that you can't really, if you make a mistake, it's going to basically be there. You can't just say stop take and do another take again. It's very much like a live theatrical production. So I think from that perspective, there's definitely an excitement charge in the air when we do the shows in that manner, and I feel that the crew tends to feed off of that.
It was quite tense with everyone trying to get their jobs done right and on time with how the show was going. But other than that, it was all around pretty tense for the hosts and everyone in the back room.
You know what? I felt like there was, more nerves and more adrenaline because really it's really hyped up when you're in a live show. It's so much different because you got to get everything set up a certain amount of time. You can feel like the electricity in the air. It's a nice tent.
From segmented to live, I asked students if there were any changes in difficulty due to the switch.
Live shows is definitely a bit more of a challenge, and it's closer to the real thing. I like it a bit more because then there's less room for error and it makes everyone work a bit harder for the show.
I like the live shows. They do have their own set of challenge with having to record and finding the right pieces to use, but I'd prefer the live shows.
I feel like, pre-taped shows, they're a lot easier, and I think like they're perfect for the 9th graders, but really at a high school level, I believe that, doing live shows, it's the next level, and I really enjoy it,
With positive responses from the MCTV crew, live shows seem like they're here to stay. For MCTV News, Dylan Weiss reporting.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at the upcoming events for December. This month in film, there are a wide number of movies being released with titles such as Sony Pictures' third movie in their trilogy, Spider-Man, No Way Home, The Matrix, Resurrections, West Side Story, The Hating of the Game, The Kingsman, The Beatles, Get Back, and Sing 2. Here are the new music releases for December. Many a Mile by Blue, Rodeo, Bloody Language by Blake Shelton, Scenic Drive from Khaled, Canadian artist Neil Young and Crazy Horse release the new album Barn, Little Libri by Jesse Cook, and Fever Dreams Parts 1 to 4 by Joni Marr. For December, upcoming video games releases includes Among Us, comes to consoles, Halo Infinite's campaign, Trash Sailors, Rogue Invaders, Happy Humble Burger Farm, and the Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach.
Thanks, Austin. Coming up next, reporter Ella Boissonneault went to local Aurora Alpacas farm to learn and show us how they take care and raise alpacas. Let's see what they have to offer.
Here at Aurora Alpacas, Diego and his family raise, alpacas. There's a lot of aspects to raising these animals, so let's take a look.
We bought our first alpaca in 2016, and we started getting into it more for me and my parents. My parents wanted to use it as kind of an extra retirement fund hobby thing.
It was Diego's idea, actually. He was probably about 10 years old, and he was just very interested in alpacas. For some reason, they caught his eye, and he just took us around to all the farms in the area, to all the Alberta Open Farm Days, and just looking at alpacas. So it was kind of his dream, and we're just sort of helping him follow through on it.
Since they started from the ground up in 2016, they've learned and grown a lot throughout the years.
Well, they're easier to handle than other animals. They're not as big as a cow or a horse, so you can handle them. Anybody can handle them. They're not high maintenance. They're not expensive to feed. They don't need insulated shelters because their wool is just so thick and so dense. Their shelters are just plywood and a roof. They don't need anything else, so it'll get hot in the wintertime.
We bought the one to start with, and then right after that, because they can't be by themselves, they are pack animals. So when we had that one moved to our land here, then we had bought a couple of more at that time as well. We have 15 of our own, and then we have 3 that we bred this past summer. So hopefully we'll have 3 more coming up next year.
We cut their hair once a year in May, April, and then we can process it. We send it to a mill down in Leduc. Get their wool, and then we turn it into processed wool that we can use for knitting and spinning and turning into products.
Having these animals have many benefits, such as
stress relief. You come home from a long day at work, and you come out to feed them and take care of them, and they're playing and jumping, and you forget about everything else and just watch them have fun.
They're fun to raise. It's a bit of a game, like figuring out the genetics behind them and how what colors you'll get from what parents and how all that stuff works. And so there's a lot more to think about when it comes to them. And it's a lot less just, oh, they're cute and cuddly. It's more, you can make money off of them, and they're different and they're cool, and they're something that not many people have. So having them is a big deal, and the wool and the fiber, it's not a commonplace thing. So you can, I don't know, it's a little more unique than just, I have sheep.
It's been an experience for sure, and we hope to be doing it for several more years to come.
Doing something on your own land and seeing the results of it certainly gives a feeling of accomplishment. And although alpacas may seem cute and easy to raise, it takes the proper knowledge and research to make sure they receive the best care. For MCTV News, Ella Boissonneault reporting.
And that's it for another episode of MCTV News. Join us again on our next episode to hear about the MCHS dinner, the chronic granulomatous disease, rock box construction, how students enjoyed winter break, and a look at the hit to the entertainment industry has taken due to COVID-19. All this plus sports and your 7-day Morinville weather forecast on Thursday, January 6th. Well, Austin, with Christmas season right around the corner, what do you got planned for the break?
Just a lot of visiting family and having a couple Christmas dinners. And you?
Honestly, I think I'm going to be spending Christmas dinner with the family again. This will be the first one since COVID, but yeah, it'll be nice.
Yeah, no, it's going to be really good.
It'll be a good one.
Really good one.
Okay. From all of us at MCTV News, signing off for the last time in 2021, I'm Matthias Kidd.
And I'm Austin Bignell. Thanks for tuning in.